Howdy, everyone. I want to put my digital drawing that I believe represents my town on a wall. Why, you may ask? Well, I have a love and deep fascination for mural artists or street artists or taggers. Any art that's going to be put on a wall, I like. Some of my inspirations are 1000, Smonova, Kipto, and Doke. The way that they bring life to otherwise boring and basic buildings sincerely moves me in a way I can't explain. Sincerely, like it makes my heart thump. I just want to go out there and paint on a wall. Nonetheless, the inspiration of this drawing doesn't really come from them, but it comes from a canvas painter, Mark Maggiore. His usage of orange, deep yellows, and browns for light, and blues, indigos, and purples for the shadow make the painting feel very grand and rich. Um, it's really, really beautiful art, and I think it captures the heart of a cowboy. Now, I'm no cowboy myself, but I do understand the culture of living on the countryside, and his work makes me feel at home in some ways. So why not make a Mark Maggiore inspired mural of my hometown, Stockholm, Texas? I want to incorporate wildlife, religion, windmills for the cliche, a breathtaking sunset, and a cowboy and a stallion. Let's get started. I have a love for bird watching out in these parts. There are a ton of little pretty birds out here, like the red-winged blackbird, cardinal, roseate spoonbill, common yellowthroat, and many other colorful little creatures. But to capture the toughness, the hardships of these lands, I went with the turkey vulture and the crested garagara. Two birds who feast on carrion, or in other words, roadkill. To the untrained eye, these creatures of death may seem filthy and disgusting for eating decaying animals, but in reality, they are a healthy balance in life and are quite literally nature's janitors. And as a kid who was friends with janitors through elementary and middle school, my mom was a food service director. I had spent countless of hours walking the halls of the school. I talked to them. They're fun. They're cool. I also do know that their job goes underappreciated, much like the crested caracara and the turkey vulture. Ah, yes, here we see a turkey vulture in the wild. They have no feathers on their head, with pink skin making them look like turkeys, hence the name. And in flight, their distinct aerial maneuvers make them super recognizable in the skies above. The crested caracara, also known as the Mexican eagle, is the stoic counterpart to the scavengers in the sky. With a white neck and orange beak, these birds have more color and personality than the dullness of a vulture. Their white tips of their wings and tails makes them distinguishable from turkey vultures in flight. It's a hard truth of these lands that there can be lots of death. But death is not the end, but merely a transformation. When an animal passes, it becomes a sacred offering to the earth, where the scavengers of the sky emerge as nature's custodians, ensuring that nothing is wasted. I know that windmills being a cliche seems shallow, maybe, but that doesn't mean that they aren't relevant. One of my family members has a working windmill that produces electricity for his home today. And in recent years, there were tons of wind turbines that were built that are now a part of the landscape. Um, Now, I'm not necessarily making either of those. I'm just doing like a cliche windmill. But I mean, I like the way it looks, and that's it. After the day is over and the sun starts to set, the atmosphere changes and the colors of the sky begin to look like a Marc Maggiore painting in the flesh. Orange and blue skies, yellow and red. To see the beauty of a sunset is a great benefit of living out here. The vast colors of the trees, the fields changing color, and getting ready for nightfall. It's such a great feeling, and it's an everyday experience. And I think painting aesthetically would be sick to have, the cowboy in the horizon, engulfed in the sun. I mean, I think that would look sick too. South Texas has a rich history of cowboy culture, rooted in Spanish traditions of the vaqueros, who herded cattle and wild horses long before the American cowboy emerged. And that still stands today, as we have people with tons of land simply to sell cattle. Vaqueros were hard workers who built their houses on barren lands, quite like my father literally did 25 years ago. The cowboy is a memento to the hardworking men and women that built the foundation of the RGV. As South Texas is considered part of the Bible Belt, it's no surprise that I was brought up religious. Lots of beautiful communities coming together to celebrate faith and love. It's a great experience. My memories of the church as a youngin were quite delightful. Lots of festivals known as Jamaicas or kermeses, where the community comes together and raises money for the church, or stories of the Bible that offer perspective and mindfulness that can be used in everyday life. The church has a special place in my heart and definitely represents home. So the church I would attend quite often as a youngin will be taking that spot. I think the plaster on the wall definitely helps with the rustic aesthetic of what this mural is going to be, and for that reason, it's going to be on the wall. Now that we have all of our components to our drawing and the reason for them being there, let's put it on the wall. No doodle grid, no freehand. I want to try the projector. Okay, so that was something. I'm setting up the projector with, just putting the projector on the ground and the laptop on the stepping stool. It got the job done, so don't really need anything crazy. Yeah, so the painting itself just wasn't going to the borders of the wall. You see there's this big old gap here. And I found that the solution to this was just to move the projector back, but you'll see that it doesn't really work out, but we'll get to that soon. Just as a last minute change up, I've decided to keep these borders. That way I can maybe add more like nopales and mesquite, maybe some shrubbery on the bottom, just to give it like more color than just orange, and it would be a nice border. So I think that's what I'll do. Yeah, after the first lines, my screen just went blank, so I had to fix the settings that it wouldn't just shut off while I was doing this. And if you get up and close, you can see like it's not super sharp. So like my lines are pretty much just a guesstimate, especially on the fucking bird. Look at that. It's like super blurry. I can't really tell what I'm doing, but I think if I get the basic shape, because I can't see this fucker's feet. Oh, look, you just fucking blend in. I just do the rough shapes. Yeah, doing this became pretty tedious and annoying. Like as you can see, when I step back, the image looks so much clearer. I can still see some blurriness, but from back here it looks super blurry. But then as soon as you walk up close and personal, it's like, bro, what am I looking at? What are these fucking blobs that I'm looking at? I think that there's uh some good qualities, some bad qualities to projector. Maybe if you get like a badass projector, it would probably be like way better than this. But I can definitely see the pros and cons to the different type of mural transfer, I guess you would call it. Oh, holy shit, look at this fucking bug. That's a big ass motherfucker. Holy shit, flashbang that fool. And despite all the bugs and the heat of that night, it was super beautiful out. The light pollution out in the distance you can see is giving my tree a silhouette. And the moon, man, was super beautiful. The way it was peeking through the clouds. I mean, it was a pretty well lit night. Holy shit, look at that. I don't know how it happened, but it just came out pretty good. Don't look at that. Wow. So pretty, so beautiful. You can tell. You can see the crescent gata gata. You can see the turkey. You can see the church. You can see the windmill. I realized I never showed me painting the wall orange, so here's a clip that I edited and I wanted to show. So yeah, here are my spray paints. I have the red, the yellow, and the white. The white I'll use on the church. The red I will use on the top corners. of this mural just to give it a dark ambience, and in the middle I'll use orange. I haven't got orange spray paint yet, but we'll manage. So yeah, here's my little setup to protect me from the Texas sun. Nice little tarp that just had laying in the garage. And I'll just be sitting here working on the painting. Alright, it feels like I'm kind of playing the waiting game here. I guess there's nothing to it but to do it, so let's get it. You know, I see tons of videos about this process being satisfying. This was not satisfying. I think it was maybe the cap that I was using, but everything came out super streaky. But I figured that if I just go over it with some acrylic paint, maybe I can, you know, rough out these details and cover up all these fucking streaks. It looks really good from afar, but once you get up close, it's a little stinky. So yeah, I found this Rust-Oleum can in the garage, so I'll just be using that to do the color of the sky, because this orange doesn't really match and I want something a little darker, and I think this will do the job. So from up close, it's kind of hard to tell, right? Like, you're like, I don't know if these colors blend together, right? But I noticed, you know, taking a step back, they kind of do, they kind of go. You know, on my digital painting, it's all like digital, so shit looks too clean. I kind of like how messy this looks. So to get rid of these streaks, I'm just going to be using some handy dandy Walmart paint, Walmart acrylic paint. I think it was like $4, pretty cheap. The color doesn't really match, but that doesn't really bother me. I think it made it pop. It made it give it a little bit more character and color. It really made the sun shine, if I do say so myself. "12 minutes and 50 seconds into the video and I only have the sky done. I think it's time to kick it into high gear and get this mural done." So after filling in the birds and the skull, I think it's time to design the cactus. So I just took a picture of the left side of the mural, and now I'm doing a rough sketch of the cactus shape, how I want it to rest on the border. And yeah, once I'm happy with that, I'll go ahead and put it on the wall. So after doing the sketch of the cactus on the wall, I started putting on some green paint, but as you can see, there is a little bit of color in the background coming into the foreground. That's not something I really like. I kind of want the entire thing to just yell green and not, you know, green with orange inside of it. So I think I'm gonna have to go and buy a new can of spray paint, which isn't too bad, just $6, and hopefully we can get this cactus looking mean and green. After filling in the cactus with the light green lime color, I would call it, I'm just, you know, doing the circles, doing the rounds, trying to make sure that this looks like a cactus. I'm using, again, acrylic Walmart bought paint, and I'm simply just going around doing circles, and then eventually I'll start filling it in with this same green color. So far I'm liking the color that this green is making, so let's continue on. So I did the same thing to the other side. This cactus is a different type. We have it in our front yard. I have no idea what it's called. I just know that it's longer. And all that's left is the little details and the big reveal. And speaking of little details, here we have the edge highlights that I did on all of the objects. If they're in front of the sun, they're getting hit by the sun rays, and I wanted to make that apparent. I even fixed the horizon, making it sharper and more concise. Edge highlights on the carcass, as well as the crested cara. I even did some edge highlights on the windows and the door frame of the chapel. What a beautiful day to just go on a walk and just birdwatch. Here's this little guy, and wait a minute, there's something off to the corner. What is that? It's a mural out in the wild, out in these parts. Something so beautiful and majestic. And here's the finished mural in all of its glory. I'm super happy with it. I think it looks really sick. I think I did a really good job choosing to do the cactus borders. I think it tones down the orange a lot more. It kind of grounds it into reality. Now when I look across the field when I walk, I see a little square of orange. I'm taking pictures with my monoscope, and you can see that the painting is pretty clear and concise, even from far away. I'm glad that all of the components that I chose, the windmill, the turkey vulture, the crescent cara, the chapel, the cactus, even the silhouette, they all work so well together. The symmetry is great. And yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite things I've ever done. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this ride. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.